my presentation about public employee unions for MPA 545, Conflict Resolution and Labor Negotiations for Professor Curtis's class at California Baptist University. So for the union that I researched or looked into was the Riverside Sheriff's Association, and they cover the Riverside County Sheriffs and the corrections and the probation departments as well. And they cover all of Riverside County, which goes obviously the entire county of Riverside, like the map shows on there. I reached out to the RSA to see if they could provide any information on how the Janus case affected them, if it affected them at all. I still have not heard back from them, which was a little disappointing, but I did find out that in December of 2019, so last year, the Riverside County Board of Supervisors actually ratified a new agreement with the Sheriff's Association. So that was just to work out a new, a new agreement and work out new pay scales and that sort of thing. And they had actually been operating without an agreement for a few years since about 2016. So kind of a big deal that they got that worked out, but it again didn't say anything specifically if the Janus trial affected anything with them. One of the articles that I actually found was about police unions, so tying back into looking at the Riverside Sheriff's Association. Police unions have actually been around since the late 1800s, early 1900s, and while some of the main things they do is just kind of typical with what other unions do, is kind of look out for like the pay and benefits with whatever the area the union serves, so in this case police unions. But they also deal with things like when officers get in trouble for like excessive force or how they handle situations. So in California, officers can actually speak to their union representatives before actually filing any reports about like a weapons discharge or issues that they've had in the field, that sort of thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And then when I looked into the Wisconsin Act 10 bill, it's actually interesting, and it's also pretty strange. So in 2011, the new governor of Wisconsin, Scott Walker, he was only in office for about a month or so, and then decided that there was a projected $3.6 billion budget deficit. So his idea was to go through and basically this Wisconsin Act 10, and this would basically like end collective bargaining for most of the public workers in Wisconsin. So he proposed that, and there was a lot of drama surrounding that, where some of the Democrats, Scott Walker's actually a Republican, some of the Democrats in Wisconsin actually left the state, went to Illinois to basically wait it out so that they couldn't actually have the vote on the Act 10. And there was a lot of legal issues, and they eventually came back to Wisconsin, voted, and Act 10 was passed in 2011. And then in 2014, it was actually, it had gone further up in the courts to actually see if it was constitutional, and they actually said yes, it was constitutional. So there was lots of strikes, protests, that sort of thing. Like in the picture in the center there, that's actually in their state capital. So it was a lot of drama, but it was pretty interesting to see how all these people got together and tried to get it to stop, but it just like I said, it got passed, and that's where they are, and it's still in effect. So yeah, pretty interesting. One article or video that I saw actually compared it to a smaller scale of basically the Janus case that we had looked at. So this was specifically just for Wisconsin, but obviously the Janus case is nationwide. So interesting to see how that happened and what that did for Wisconsin. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend.